Welcome to Cultural Currents, Conversations at the Crossroads, where we dive deep into the vital topics of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Today's episode shines a spotlight on the rich history of African Americans and marching bands. In particular, we explore how popular African American artists have influenced marching bands today and the importance of discipline in cultivating a phenomenal marching band. In this episode, Ronald Davis caught up with Mr. Jonathan Byrd, a dedicated musician, educator, and mentor with a rich tapestry of experiences. Hailing from Greensboro and shaped by his time at Dudley High School, Jonathan's journey is one of resilience and passion. From his days as a bandhead and drumline major of the Marching Panthers to his service in the Marine Corps, hailing from Greensboro and shaped by his time at Dudley High School, Jonathan's journey is one of resilience and passion. From his days as a bandhead and drum major of the Marching Panthers to his service in the Marine Corps and subsequent enrollment at North Carolina A&T as a music major, Jonathan's commitment to music and community shines through. As sousaphone section leader, member of Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia fraternity, and participant in various musical ensembles, Jonathan's time at A&T laid the foundation for his impactful career. With accolades including membership in Kappa Kappa Psi Honorary Band Fraternity and an associate's degree in music from Northern Essex Community College, Jonathan's dedication to his craft is evident. Currently serving as assistant band director at Benell Smith High School and as an OCS job coach in the Exceptional Children Program, Jonathan's influence expands and extends far beyond the realm of music. As an advisor to the men and women of Smith, he fosters community and leadership through service organizations that include a step team. Join us as we delve into the life and legacy of Mr. Jonathan Byrd on Cultural Currents, Conversations at the Crossroads.
I'm here with a very special guest. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we can get started with the questions. So, this is Mr. Byrd.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Byrd. I'm assistant band director at Benell Smith High School. I've been working with the band since 1999.
All right, 1999. So you're one of the OGs.
I guess so.
Yeah, I just got back interviewing with Harvey Thompson, and he mentioned that he joined in like 2000, I believe.
Early 2000.
Yeah, early 2000.
Well, yes.
Yeah. So it's real good to talk to y'all, like to hear like what was going on back then, and just how much the culture has changed, you know. So some of the questions I've got, right? Let's see. So let's kind of talk about some of the black musicians that have influenced band culture. Can you think off the top of your head some people that have influenced the music that is performed, any specific black artists?
Well, the interesting thing is you really can't pinpoint 1 or 2, 10, 20, or even 50. You look at James Brown, you look at Prince, you look at Michael Jackson, you look at, oh goodness, it's just too many to name. Even the current artists, Usher, they all have an influence on what a marching band plays. Of course, popular music, is the music that's current now. 10 years ago, that was popular music. Earth, Wind & Fire, Cameo. Well, I'm sorry, that's longer than that. 30 years ago. But the great thing is, Cameo, for example, Talking Out the Side of Your Neck, it is now a staple song all across the country for bands, college, high school. You even hear it played in some pro stadiums. So it's hard to name, a particular artist because they've all influenced band.
Right.
Your very good bands play a wide genre of music, from classical to pop to blues to rock.
Classical band music, or like classical?
Classical music.
Oh.
Good example, Florida A&M, Marching 100, Elsa's Processional to the Cathedral. I think I'm saying that right. Even A&T has played Toccata and Fugue.
Oh.
Yes. So it's a wide range.
Yeah.
But getting back to black artists, now we refer to, I was talking about Cameo Talking Out the Side of Your Neck. That's now a staple. That's considered old school. You have Before I Let Go. You have Get Ready by the Temptations.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so many influences that kind of bounce back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
Drumline, the movie Drumline, came out in 2000, 2001, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
What's interesting is some of that music was written specifically for the movie, but it was written for marching band, and some of those songs are still played today. It's a great, like I said, that influence is just kind of goes back and forth between the artists and the bands.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the music that was written specifically for Drumline, the movie, was that like songs that were already in existence written for that, or what, like original compositions?
I think a couple of them were original compositions.
Oh wow! So now we have people playing like original compositions from that movie.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
It's like I said, this is just so wide, so broad. The back and forth with the artists, the art, and the marching bands.
Yeah.
Great example, Janelle Monáe. I can't think of the song right now. There's a video, I think it's on YouTube, where she was at A&T. The band was playing the song, she was singing it. It was like at a practice. I cannot think of the name of the song.
Was it from like her new album or?
No, it's been a few years ago.
Okay.
Recently, Chloe Bailey.
Yep.
Performed with A&T.
Fantasia, right? Was Fantasia performed recently, I think last year with A&T.
Flavor Flav.
Oh.
Has been an honorary drum major. Won homecoming.
Oh,
he had the uniform on, did the routine, everything.
Oh, word.
Oh yeah. So, like I said, that influence rap, pop, hip hop.
Yeah.
It's back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Marching band is like, I guess, a good mirror, a good reflection of music from the black culture. You might hear a band play a big band blues song, a big band song, or you might hear them play, like I said, something classical. Definitely what we now call old school. Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that whole era, late 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah. Play
some of everything. Pretty much what we're talking about. Southern University, the Human Jukebox. The reason their nickname is the Jukebox is they can play some of everything. It's almost like you put your quarter in the jukebox, hit play.
Wow.
They're excellent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's cool. Where the name came from.
Yeah.
Human Jukebox.
It is real interesting. We were talking about how we Southern bands and HBCU bands are now and have been influencing pop music like inversely, right? So now you have so many people that have drum lines inside of their songs, you know, you hear a tuba or like a line, like, and it's like, oh, that should be in a drum line, and then you know, the HBCUs end up picking it up and then doing it inside of their set, and then it's just back and forth.
Oh yeah, even the Super Bowl last week, Usher's performance.
Yeah,
the band performing was Jackson State marching band. So that's a direct correlation or a great example of marching band playing current music.
Right. Yeah.
He did, I think, just about all his hits, which spanned however many years he's been performing. So that gives you an idea of that connectivity.
Yeah. Okay, word. And so you've been doing this for quite a minute.
Oh yeah.
And you're an you're, not to be like, you know, rude about it, but you're an A&T alum, right?
Well, went to A&T, studied at A&T.
Okay. Yeah.
Under the great Dr. Johnny B. Hodge. He was my band director. The current band director, Dr. Kenneth Ruff, I marched with him at A&T.
Oh, wow.
We were on the band staff, and of course he went on to become band director at A&T.
Yeah.
I just love this high school level molding young minds.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. Like, continuing the culture with younger people, how do you make sure that, like, they understand what they're getting into? You know, like, this is a very diverse, like, very rich culture. Well,
the marching band, I'll go back to marching band, that stems from the military. Mm-hmm. That's why we stand at attention, wear uniforms, left face, right face. Mm-hmm. It is directly from military. Everybody moves at the same time together. Of course, we play together. So once a young person understands, oh, I have to move with everybody else at the same time. I have to do my part, even though I feel like it's small and insignificant, but it is important because it's there.
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody, that's one thing, that discipline of having to work with other people, the teamwork, the camaraderie. Oh man, there's a long list of great things that come out of being in band. But like you said, for a young person, it can be overwhelming the first few days, but once they get used to what's going on, they slowly understand, oh, this is how this works.
Oh yeah, that was it for me too. For sure.
Yes, and you have directors that are very, I say, staunch in the way they do things. You know, left is left, turn left now.
Yeah.
There's no discussion, do it now.
Yeah.
And it's like a culture shock for some kids, but like I said, it's military based, so
right.
A lot of your commands and even sometimes even the way you teach it is a military style. But the fun side is, you know, you get to learn how to dance with everybody and play popular music, and it's fun. But you know, I tell the kids, work first, play later. So you have to put your time in, as they say, pay your dues. Then you reap the rewards later. Oh boy. Let me see. I was talking about A&T.
Yeah.
I play tuba. Actually, I still play. I was a section leader. Back then, the band wasn't very big, late 80s, early 90s. But the people we had were solid players. And that's why, I don't know if you ever heard the nickname, the small band with the big sound. That's where that came from. I mean, small instrumentation. We had 8 tubas, 12 trumpets, 8 trombones, 5 baritones, 3 mellophones, but we sounded like twice that.
Nice.
Of course, woodwinds. I think that was a total of maybe 80, 90 people.
Okay. And nowadays it's like
over 200.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Wow.
I love seeing that big band. I love hearing that sound. But the progression from year to year, I find very interesting. Even the same thing on the high school level. You never know who's coming through the door, who you have to work with. But whomever comes through the door, that's who you work with.
Yeah.
Some years we're small, some years we may be bigger. But the thing is, we maintain quality throughout. That goes back to, you know, the young person possibly being overwhelmed with what is all of this stuff going on. Turn left, be still, play here, don't play. But the consistency, the quality is your standard.
Yeah. And so like you have these like ideals and these some people have like creeds, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that you gotta follow. It's like
Oh, yeah.
that way you ensure that like every time you are instilling the same like motivations and
Oh yeah, same values, the same.
Yeah.
That's your what makes it unified from year to year. So when alumni comes back at homecoming, they know the same things that the undergrads know and vice versa. It's one big family, if you will.
Yeah, and that's real nice. That's beautiful, like for a community, you know, to have a community. You know, I've heard some people that are really in band and like they attribute a lot of their like joy to the fact that they were in this community. You know, like I met friends, I met lifelong
friends. Oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
You'll have many people who will attribute their success to being in band. Like I said, that hard work, the discipline. Band camp is rigorous. If you can, this is college level, you know, from 5 a.m. to 7. You're outside marching, exercising, running, all that good stuff. The middle of the day, music rehearsal, then 5, 6 in the evening, you're back out there marching until 9, 10 o'clock at night. And that, for you doing this for several weeks, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. So that kind of breaks you down, but it builds you back up.
Right. Yeah.
And you were talking about the lifelong friends. You see people at their worst. You know, just think about, you've been out here for 2 weeks. It's 98 degrees.
You sweating.
It's dusty. Everybody's dirty, smelly. You know, but we still are working toward this common goal.
Yeah, exactly.
So you see some people at their worst. Some people just lose it. I can't do this. It's hot. It's whatever. But hey, come on, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
So you work together all the way through band camp. Now it's your first game. You put that uniform on. The pride is just so huge. So now, like I said, you seen them at their worst, and then you see them at their best performing on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So you really get to know the people in your band. You really get to know them. Spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love about band. Even now, like you said, I have lifelong friends from band, high school and college. And I wouldn't trade them for the world.
Yeah. That is beautiful. I really like that, just as like an analogy for like life. You gotta get through the hard stuff. You gotta get musty, dusty, crusty,
get dirty,
and then at the end, like you have that pride. Like that's what's important at the end, and then that like it instills friends that you have till the end of time. Yeah.
When another great thing about playing music, I tell the kids all the time, a quarter note is the same in Greensboro as it is in Charlotte, as it is in New York, California, Japan, Germany. A quarter note is a quarter note. A half note is a half note. If you can sit down, read this music, and play, you can sit and play with anybody in the whole world that reads music.
Yeah. And
you have a common bond. You may not be able to speak with them, you know, 2 different languages, but you will, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? You'll be able to connect through music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Music has a language of its own. It's actually an exact science. A lot of people don't realize that, but I was talking about the quarter note. Quarter note, half note, whole note. You have different types of rhythms and time signatures and key signatures.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all tied together scientifically. Even jazz music, you still have some rules to follow.
Right.
With jazz, even though you're improvising.
Yeah.
And one of the most interesting rules I found out studying music, you have to learn these rules, but you can break the rules. But you're still following the rules.
Yeah. Someone told me rules are rules except for exceptions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like.
So it's music is a great thing. It's universal. And we're talking about marching bands. I don't know anybody who does not like to see a marching band, whether it's a halftime show, playing in the community. I guess the biggest thing is a parade.
Yeah.
Auntie's Homecoming Parade, Greensboro Christmas Parade. We did the Veterans Day Parade this year. Each time it was a great reception. The crowd, cheered, clapped, all that good stuff. I mean, they just enjoyed seeing the bands perform and march and play and come back.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh yeah,
for real.
I think again, like I said, everybody loves the band. Just to throw a quick commercial in, we Smith High School will be hosting a Battle of the Bands May 11th here at school in the stadium. Please be on the lookout for advertisement and radio announcements and all that good stuff. Please come support us. Along with that, we'll have a dance competition. This dance competition will be between majorette style dance teams from the community. Even that whole genre of the majorette style came from marching bands. So you now have these groups of young ladies and some young men who do this majorette style competition dance. DD4L, Dance Dolls on TV.
Yeah.
Bring it on. That's it. Bring it.
The movie?
No, the TV show.
Okay.
That's majorette style dancing.
Yeah.
And it is huge. It is huge. So within the Battle of the Bands, we'll have that dance competition for first place, second place, third place. And the bands out there doing what they do.
Yeah. And that's all high school bands? And
just high school bands.
High school bands.
And the dance teams are community based. They're not school dance teams. We're working on confirming all the teams. That's why I haven't named anybody.
Yeah.
I know for sure that Ben L. Smith Marching Band will be there.
Okay. Yeah.
But like I said, be on the lookout May 11th. 11 or 12. Please be on the lookout.
Gotcha. Yeah, so for the
listeners,
come support and experience like firsthand how amazing bands can be and like the culture. Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing before we go, I know that you're a part of like certain groups like HBCU Recruit. If you want to talk about those, like how those are changing like the culture, how y'all are getting young people involved in Black, culture, stuff like that.
HBCU Recruit is a nonprofit organization. The name pretty much tells you what we do.
Yeah.
We're promoting, of course, kids going to HBCUs, but we're not limiting to HBCUs. The main goal is to go to a college.
Gotcha.
Even though it may not be an HBCU, but we're exposing kids to that culture, which marching band is a large part of that. Just the HBCU experience is like no other. There are a lot of African American students who go to an HBCU who have never been around that many people that are like them, which is a good thing. But that, like I said, HBCU Recruits, our mission is to get kids to go to college, expose them to the greatness of HBCUs. Education is important.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you, sir.
For sure.
Thank you for joining Cultural Currents Conversations at the Crossroads, where we dove deep into the currents shaping our world today. But wait, have you heard about the Current Crew? It's more than just a subscription. It's a community of changemakers, advocates, and allies who are dedicated to fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. Joining the current crew means joining a movement towards a more inclusive future. By subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking and sharing our content, you're not only consuming, you're actively participating in the conversation. Our podcast, Cultural Currents, is a space where voices from all walks of life converge to share stories, perspectives, and insights. As a member of the current crew, you'll have exclusive access to thought-provoking discussions, interviews with changemakers, and strategies for creating positive change in your community. Together, we are the current crew, united in our commitment to amplify marginalized voices, challenge systemic barriers, and build a more equitable world for all. Join the current crew today, because together we're making waves of change. Subscribe, like, and share to be part of the movement. Cultural Currents, conversations at the crossroads. Let's journey together.